Hi everybody, Coach Duggo here with another cooking demonstration for you today. We are going to be making a cucumber, onion, and tomato salad. And the reason why we are doing that for you here today is in Wisconsin in the summertime, we have a lot of these items available to us, whether we're growing it at our own garden or whether we're going to a farmer's market. We do have a lot of these items available. Now, salad can be very filling, to be honest with you. However, if you need a little bit more protein, we definitely have some more options that we can add to it. Today, I'm going to be adding some pre-cooked grilled chicken. Otherwise, we can definitely do a hard-boiled egg or two, and we can also add some nuts or even seafood, as in tuna or salmon. I really would love the salmon right now, but I didn't want to take the time to cook it because a lot of our cooking demos, I want to be under 30 minutes. In regards to prep time today, should only be about roughly 10 minutes, and the total time should be about 25. Now, I bought the pre-cooked chicken, all right, to add to it to save some time, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this should not take too long. It will serve about 4 to 6 servings. All right, and since the majority of it is vegetables, our calories are going to be very low. We do have some extra virgin olive oil, which add a little bit of calories, but this is going to be very low total. So that's why the grilled chicken that we have pre-cooked right here, I'm going to actually use the whole container. So a whole container of this pre-cooked chicken, which is 20 grams of protein per serving, so we're going to get more than our fair share of that, unless we don't, obviously we're not going to eat the whole salad. But it's 9 ounces, so 300 calories here. I would venture to say very little in regards to your onion, probably under 50. Tomatoes, probably under 50. Basil, we also have our cilantro, and then we also have our cucumber. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be very low key, okay? Very low in calories and pretty easy to make. Okay, so let's get started. What do we all need before we even get started? So you can pause the video and go grab these items. Well, we need to have the following. We need to have measuring cups. I am making do with what I got. We are going to use a 1/4 cup, okay, of extra virgin olive oil. So you need that. We are going to need 2 tablespoons, okay, of either rice vinegar, rice wine, red wine, white wine. Make do with what you got, folks. Okay? So we're going to use one of these as our tablespoons. We're going to need a knife to chop up our veggies. We also are going to need a little bit of kosher salt and some pepper. Once again, I'm going to be using the rice vinegar. Garlic powder, we are going to just need very light, 1 teaspoon of that, 1/4 actually of teaspoon of that. We need 1 English cucumber, quartered lengthwise and sliced. Cilantro is going to be roughly about a 1/2 cup between that and our basil. Oh, that smells good. If you want to, you can also add some dill, some mint, or some parsley. Okay, any of those will be fine. Just give it a little extra tang, okay, a little extra flavor. We do need cherry tomatoes, halved. We also are going to need red onion. We're going to thinly slice that. And then last but not least, we are going to add that chicken. You are going to need a bowl once you got everything cut up. Grab yourself a cutting board as well. Make sure you have a knife. I am just using paper plates to cut it, and we're going to add it all into here after we're all done. So I also like grabbing one with a lid so we can shake it up pretty good. After we are all done today, we're going to want to let it sit at room temperature for about 15 minutes, or you can refrigerate it up to 12 hours before serving. And then once again too, if you do that route, that's when you're going to put the herbs on last. okay? But since we're going to be eating it today, or at least I'll be eating it today, I'm just going to throw them in there all together, okay? So, first things first, make sure that you actually wash all of your veggies, which I already did for us today. First thing we're going to do, in a large bowl though, we are going to mix the oil, the vinegar, salt, garlic powder, and the black pepper, okay, all into this bowl. So, we need a 1/4 cup of our extra virgin olive oil, alrighty? So, we are just going to put a little bit of that in there, okay, and dump that into our big bowl. That is our main form of dressing here today, is our olive oil. Just going to set that off to the side. Next, we are going to grab that kosher salt. Kosher salt, we're going to do 2 teaspoons. So basically it's 1 and 2. All right. And next, we're going to go to a garlic powder. Once again, that is going to be a 1/4 teaspoon, okay, of garlic powder. So basically, I'm just going to give just a little tap on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to actually measure all these stuff out a little more accurately if you want to. I'm just making do with what I got. All right. So we have the vinegar, we have the salt, garlic powder, and then black pepper. Black pepper is going to be teaspoon, 1/4. Once again, very lightly here. Okay. If you like a little more salt, if you like a little more pepper, if you like a little extra garlic powder in there too, feel free to do what you got to do. Okay. And then last but not least, we have to grab that 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, or the red wine, or the white wine, or the rice wine. So this one I am going to measure out with my handy dandy spoon here. And since it's 2 tablespoons, I am going to do 2 of those. Here's 1 and 2. There you go. Very good. Now, if you do have a whisk, this will help. Otherwise, I am just going to move everything around here on the bottom of my bowl. Now, if you are changing out the serving sizes, if you're going to want to make more, obviously look at the recipe and adjust as needed. Okay. Now, the reason why I am just kind of putting in the same bowl right away versus a smaller bowl, which would probably be a little bit easier to work with. Once again, I have that cover, and I am just going to shake it so it all gets mixed up together. Ooh, that smells pretty good. All right. So, we got that done. Next, what we have to do, we have to cut up our items, okay? So, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to cut up the cherry tomatoes. Now, that is going to be 4 cups, okay? What I'm going to do for here today is I am going to use the whole entire batch of our tomatoes, which is 10 ounces, okay? Now, we don't have to be perfect, everybody, okay? We don't have to be perfect, but we want to make sure we have roughly close to the same ingredients needed. Now, in regards to cutting these up, all right, half them, all right? So, lay it down, cut it right in half, and we are just going to keep going to town here on this one. So, earlier I made the comment as we're cutting up our veggies now. Farmers markets. Do you have one that's close by? Do you have anything that is readily available to you? If not, go on websites. Go check out if there's anything near you. They have lots of different things at these farmers markets. First and foremost, they have fresh vegetables. That right there, okay, is going to be supporting local. More often than not, it might be a little bit cheaper than your grocery store. It's going to be a lot fresher because it's not going to be shipped, across the country. All right, I'm going to make some room here by just dumping that in there so I can get some more tomatoes in here. But last but not least, they have lots of other fun things at these farmers markets. If you have not been to one before, look one up online and make it happen. They have honey, They have lots of different things in regards to crafts, okay? Pretty much anything you can think of, they have there. So they have some salsa, they typically have some jams. You think about it, they're gonna have it, all right? So, how are you doing with your tomatoes? Are you getting them halved? Once again, I'm using 10 ounces. The recipe does call for 4 cups. I am going to say that is roughly close enough in regards to my books here today, all right? If and only if you wanted to, okay, you can cut up even smaller. Okay, so let's just say you have some little ones, some younger ones at home. It might be easier to cut them up again, just for the fact that you make sure you're safe with those little ones eating those. All right, I got 4 more here. And then we are going to move on to the cucumber next. So, with everything on our plates here today, ladies and gentlemen, we really are going to have a low-calorie, amazing lunch or dinner, okay? Now, tomatoes go in there, all right? Only because I like to do it. Make sure you put that cover on tight. Every item that I put in here, I am just going to mix around right away, just so that I can kind of get a little bit extra sauce on everything, so not one thing sits on top, okay? There, that got mixed up pretty good. All right, moving on to our England cucumber. The cucumber is going to be quartered lengthwise and then sliced. Basically what we're doing is we're going to cut that in half. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Just going to take off the bottoms here. And I'm going to cut it lengthwise now. Going to grab that back again here. And now I am going to just slice it into nice small pieces. When you're slicing them up, make them small enough, okay, once again, that it goes a long ways, number 1. But also number 2, dump that right in there. Once again, if you have kids, make it smaller, okay? So once again, we're going to cut that lengthwise, put it back together, and then we're going to slice and dice. All right, this is looking good, looking good. Earlier, I made a comment saying that it should be roughly about 10 minutes worth of work. So far, so good, right? Okay, we're already done with the tomatoes, the dressing, and the cucumber. So now I'm going to mix that around here. Okay, looking good, looking good. Oh yeah. Woo, look out, coming in hot. All right, so let's go to the onion next. Red onion, okay? You can get the best flavor, I feel, for this salad, all right? If you do have other things at home, let's say your garden doesn't have red onion, you can either A, go get one, or B, just use what you got, all right? I think you're gonna be okay, folks. All right, so for the onion here, we only need to have half of it cut and then thinly sliced. So what I'm going to do, without cutting myself, I'm going to cut that in half, set the other half off to the side. I'm then going to cut the top off. I'm going to cut the bottom off. And I am going to peel back here, just a couple layers. Just a top couple layers here, and then I'm going to make this nicely cut thinly here. All right, and I am just going with the grain here. After I'm done giving this some slices here, okay, I personally would take out some of the bottom pieces here, okay, and then just slowly pull it apart. All right, and we're going to mix that in. If you're not really an onion fan, don't put as much in. It's fine, totally fine. All right, so make sure that they're nice and thin. Alrighty. Got that going here. Slowly pull that apart. Once again, I'm using half of it. Oh, that onion smells good. That's going to add some good flavor, folks. That's going to add some good flavor. Alrighty. And voila. Now that we got our onion sliced and diced, let's throw that in there. Move that off to the side next. Let's give that a stir. Okay, let's get that mixed up. All right, once again, go around and spin the other way. Woo. Flip it upside down once in a while too. Just make sure your cover's on tight. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I know it's kind of hard to see already, but you can see the sauces, or the dressing, I should say, getting in nicely. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Next, okay, because I'm going to be eating this right away, if you wanted to refrigerate this part first, save the basil and the cilantro for when you actually eat it. But I'm going to eat it within the next 15 minutes, so I'm going to cut it up. The let's see here. It would be roughly a half cup total of the basil and the cilantro that you're using, or once again, you can use mint, dill, or parsley as well. So I roughly guesstimated how much we will need for the basil. So I am just going to cut that up very, very, let's say very small, just because you don't want to eat big chunks with it. You don't want the stems, folks. Don't eat the stems. All right, that's not that kind of thing here. So let's cut it and just throw that in right away if you are going to be eating it right away, which I would imagine most of you would be, unless you're a prepper, unless you're a planner, okay? And that is totally fine too. So let's give that a little more cut here. Nice little cut. When you're cooking, ladies and gentlemen, take your time. Smell the roses, smell the basil, smell the cilantro. Mix that up a little bit. I just have a little bit more to cut here. Once again, I do not want the stems. I just want the beautiful leaves here. Okay. Hopefully everybody is following along with me. Hopefully everybody is having a good time at home as well doing this. Now, we got that in there. If you only want to do basil, or you only want to do cilantro, or only anything else, that's fine. Make the recipe and make all your other recipes you do in regards to, for lunches and for dinner and for breakfast, make it tailored to you. Just because something's on paper are suggestions, okay? But you do you. We're all individuals, okay? We all like what we like. If you don't like tomatoes, don't put tomatoes in. Simple as that, all right? We don't have to be 100% perfect, a lot of times with our recipes. Yes, if it calls for a certain sauce to be a certain size, okay, or a certain amount of ounces, please do that. However, if there's items you don't like, substitute them, okay? All right, now let's move on to our cilantro. I just love the smell of cilantro, so I might have put a little bit extra cilantro in there. That's okay, though. Don't tell anybody, all right? All right. I am moving right along here. Once again, we are just cutting that up into very small little pieces here. Disclaimer, when you actually have all this cilantro and any of these fresh herbs, check your teeth when you're done. Sometimes they have a tendency of sticking. And you don't want to be that person with, herbs stuck in your teeth. Or maybe you do. That's fine too. All right, but disclaimer, check your teeth. All right, so cut that up, nice little pieces here. All right, we're gonna dump that in there. Clean up our mess just a little bit here. Last but not least, okay, we have that chicken that we cut up, pre-cooked chicken. I'm just gonna mix this up one more time here before we add the chicken. the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. Hey, that's what it's all about. Cooking, prepping, that's what it's all about. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that looks pretty darn good. Let's take our chicken out, okay? With the chicken, we're just gonna put that on our little makeshift cutting board here. This is where I like to kind of cut those into a little bit smaller pieces, okay? So this right here is carved chicken breast. I am just gonna make it a little bit smaller because it's gonna go a longer ways, all right? I'm using the whole package here today, which is, once again, the whole package is 300 calories. That's the whole package. It should serve 4 to 6 servings. So out of this, make yourself 4 to 6 plates, okay? All right, unless you're eating for one. All right, so let's bring that over here. We're just gonna cut that up into nice small pieces. So far, so good. I haven't cut myself yet. I haven't burned the place down. And the nice thing, folks, too, about this recipe, you don't have to cook it. You know, if you buy the pre-cooked chicken. The other thing that you could do, too, buy the rotisserie chicken at one of your local grocery stores, okay? Because if you do it that way, all you gotta do is pull it off and take as much out as you want, okay? All right. I think you get the picture here, that this is actually a pretty easy recipe for everybody to do. Give this one a try. All right. Okay. If anybody does this recipe at home, if you do something other than chicken, give me a shout out, okay? Give me a shout out and let me know what you put in there. Did you put in tuna? Did you put in hard-boiled eggs? Did you put in salmon? I want someone to try the salmon one and let me know how that turns out, okay? Right. Almost done cutting our chicken here. Mixing that in there. Just get a couple little more chunks cut up here. Ooh, this is making me hungry, folks. This is making me hungry. All right. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. I'm going to set that off to the side. One more time for the mix. One more time for the mix. All right, now give it a good shake. Did you know that this also doubles, this recipe doubles as an ab exercise? You gotta use my core. Gotta use my core to mix things up here, right? Give it a good flip, good flip. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it. Now you have to wait 15 minutes, okay? You have to wait 15 minutes, let that sit together, and you are gonna have an amazing cucumber, tomato, and onion salad with a little bit of protein if you so choose. Ladies and gentlemen, try, plan, and you can cook as well. Coach Doug O here saying thank you so much for your time. As always, enjoy and basically relax, chill, and take pleasure in the fact that you made this versus somebody else. It's going to taste so much better, I promise you. Yeah, more often than not. So enjoy. Have a good rest of your day. Once again, thank you for joining me. We'll see you soon.